All right, good day, my dear listeners and subscribers from all over the world. You are welcome to the Truth with Ben Jokes, your trusted channel for political analysis. Baraka the Salah to all our Muslim brothers and sisters in the house and all over the world. I wish you wonderful time celebrating. It is another day in Nigeria, and no matter how we want to sugarcoat it, the realities of a crumbling nation stare us right in the face. I have spoken with many Muslims and they have confirmed that this is the worst small salah ever for them. Many of them struggled to feed throughout the fasting period and they have capped it up with an inflation-mad salah celebration. That is really terrible, and it is the reality of this failed Muslim ticket. And that is why 44% of youths have mental health problems, according to the reports that you are seeing right there on your screen. And if you think that is not true, look at this one. 25-year-old Nigerian takes own life after months of disturbing posts online seeking help. That is the reality of the Nigerian youths in this present day Nigeria. Frustration everywhere. That is why Nigerians are escaping, running away from the country per minute in their hundreds. And few hours ago, a very terrible update all the way from the UK began making the rounds. The UK government has dealt Nigeria a very painful and embarrassing blow in response to the failure of the Tinubu regime. And concurrently, that controversial call from Arewa community to southern Nigeria began making the rounds. If this is not handled well, a national clash between the north and the south that could lead to the loss of hundreds, if not thousands, of lives is inevitable. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you these videos.
Sometimes, some years back, I used to love traveling from Kano to Kazaure to Daura, then Katsina. But today, recently, just last week, there were kidnappings and killings on that road. So it is everywhere in Nigeria. So it is not just Edo State. Let's declare a state of emergency on security generally in Nigeria, and then sit down, have a holistic conversation about it. And then the issue of light arms. Yeah. Legally, it is police that are empowered to license, owners of light arms. But with the proliferation of arms, and then in some cases, you see headsmen carrying AK-47, and they tell you because people are attacking their cows. So let's also look at this idea of ranching. It's a business. You can't use your business to spoil mine. You're using your cattle to, move through people's farm. And some of them also have accused the village community leaders that anywhere you see them stay beyond 1 month, they settle community leaders. So this is where the state government also now begins to question some of these community leaders. And before, we're traveling to the village, you travel between that Benin Auchi Road, you can travel at any time. But now, for the past 15, 20 years, 15 years to this time has been terrible. Very, very terrible. That if there are no military and the police on that road, you dare not travel. That is so bad that police will tell you, please, don't enter that road before 9. And once it is 4, stay at home.
So would you say there's like a selective response to insecurity in Nigeria?
Exactly. What the federal government is doing is a selective response. When it happens in your state, as a governor, you are left at the mercy of the local that you have, like Edo State governor. For me, I feel for him. He's helpless. He's helpless. You train your local vigilante. After donating vehicles to the police, they bought vehicles, and that's all you can do, donate vehicles to the police. And at the end of the day, it is the federal government that will empower them with arms and will decide who to post to where. So if you are lucky, they post many men to your place. How many of these police stations can actually respond? Imagine, let's assume now that with those numbers of people, and they are carrying not just Dane guns and their other arms, maybe confiscated, concealed, and then they attack a community like Uromi. What's the number of the policemen in Uromi that will respond to such an attack? 0.
You heard that. Tinubu and the APC are fuming about what happened in Edo State, as if that is the first time we are seeing cases of insecurity in this country. If there is anything we should be declaring a state of emergency on, it is insecurity in Nigeria. But I keep saying it here, there are proper steps to take to curb insecurity in Nigeria, but under the APC, those steps will never be taken. Simply because the APC are one of the chief sponsors of insecurity in this country. I made it clear yesterday that I do not support jungle justice, and therefore I condemn the killing of the 16 in Edo State, but I know why it happened. It happened because for far too long, the government has ignored the tears of the people in that community. Attack after attack, they have been neglected by the APC-led federal government, and even their state governor, Monday Ekpeholo, the APC governor, in his few months in office has shown severe neglect to cases of insecurity in Edo State. That was why the people took laws into their own hands. Any chaos that emerges from that event that took place in Edo State, Tinubu takes about 80% of the blame. Period. Next video here shows Bayelsa State Governor, Governor Diri, putting the nuisance Wike in his place. See the video.
Persons from this state, particularly one George Turner, is threatening the peace of this state. And recently there is a Facebook report with his own number that is going to host the Minister of FCT in Tombia roundabout in Bayelsa. The minister is not from Bayelsa State. This is not FCT. This is Bayelsa State. All service commanders should be at alert. That meeting must not take place in Bayelsa State. He can host his minister anywhere outside Bayelsa State. And I direct further that no public place, no public school, no public place, infrastructure, should be used by anybody except by the approval of the state government. Every public facility in this state owned by the Bayelsa state government, nobody can use it except with the express approval of the Bayelsa state government. And nobody should import and export insecurity in their states to Bayelsa state. And so service commanders, you are put on alert that any of such gatherings should not and will not hold in Bayelsa State. There is a government in place here, and this government and the security agencies have worked tirelessly to keep the peace of this state. If somebody cannot take care of their state, they shouldn't import it to where we have peace.
You heard that. That was the Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri there doing the right thing, placing a ban on Nyesom Wike in the state. One of their notorious members, a suspended PDP member, is trying to host Wike in Bayelsa State. And you know what Wike is trying to do? He wants to import trouble to the state. And that is why the governor is saying he must not be allowed, in that state. He has alerted all the security agencies, the man Wike, who all he carries all around is trouble. He doesn't want him in the state. This is how every state should treat that stupid man called Nyesom Wike, because I don't really understand what Wike is trying to do in this country. You have caused trouble in Rivers State. Now you want to move to Bayelsa State. Are you trying to take over the entire South or what? As what? As who? Because you were a two-term governor in Rivers State. There was Rotimi Amechi before you. There was Peter Odili before you. These were much more better governors than you. So what are you trying to prove? Trying to scatter the whole South? This is such a disgrace from the APC and Tinubu, allowing this man to just be going about fomenting trouble like this in this country. But I am happy that the Bayelsa State Governor Diri put him in his place, and I think other states who would not want to take nonsense from this nuisance called Wike should do the same. Now let us look at the top stories. First is that communique from Arewa communities to southern Nigeria, and as I have stressed, if not properly handled, this has the potential to start a religious war in this country. And next is that embarrassing update from the UK government in response to the massive failure of the Tinubu regime. Let's start by taking that communique from Arewa community. Look at how the papers reported it. Northern Elders Forum gives Edo State 14 days ultimatum to compensate families of travelers lynched by mob. The Northern Elders Forum (NEF) has expressed outrage over the killing of northern hunters in Uromi, Edo State, declaring that the North has tolerated enough and will no longer condone such attacks. In a statement on Saturday, NEF spokesperson Professor Abubakar Jika Jidere described the incident as shocking, sad, and deeply disturbing. He said NEF received the shocking, sad, and deeply disturbing news of the barbaric, extrajudicial, and cowardly killing of innocent northern hunters who were returning home to celebrate the end of Ramadan and Eid Kabir Salah festival with their families in Uromi, Edo State. This heinous act is totally unacceptable and we condemn it in its strongest terms. Jidere stated that the North had endured multiple acts of violence from some southern regions in the past, but such incidents must come to an end. He demanded the immediate action, including the arrest and trial of all individuals responsible for the attack and brutal killings of the innocent travelers. The NEF also called for a public prosecution of the perpetrators and those that aided the crime to ensure full transparency and accountability. Additionally, the forum demanded the due payment of compensation to the families of the victims in line with the prescribed standards of their respective faiths. Furthermore, NEF insisted on an unreserved apology from the people and authorities of Edo State with a commitment to ensuring that such barbaric behavior never occurs again. An unreserved apology from the Edo State government to the North for this heinous attack on its people. The punishment of the perpetrators must be witnessed by the public to serve as deterrent to any such future acts of violence. The forum gave the Edo State government and the federal government a 14-day ultimatum to meet the demands. Failure to do so will compel the North to take all necessary actions to seek justice for her people and the North. The statement warned. You heard that. Now, the smartest thing to do now is to quickly compensate the families of those people that were killed and then offer that apology to the Northern Elders Forum and to the entire North. Because if you don't do that, all the Southerners that are living in Kano, Sokoto, Katsina, Zamfara, and all those places, they'll begin going to their houses and they will start killing them. Innocent people. So this is the imminent loss of hundreds and thousands of lives that I was talking about. But after doing all that, this is what the leadership of Southern Nigeria should do. Prioritize your people. Give your people the priority. Stop treating your people like slaves. Because this same Uromi, women, children have been protesting and complaining about how these same Fulanis were killing them on their farms. But the state government did nothing about it. If the governor had televised it, if to say the governor carry on for head, if he was telling the whole world that look at what the Fulanis are doing in my region, then this kind of thing that Northern Elders Forum are talking now, as if their people are just peaceful, and their people are peace lovers, they wouldn't be speaking like this. But because you have neglected the welfare of your people, that is why this Northern Elders Forum group is coming out to talk as if their people are saints. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that, that update from the UK government began making the rounds due to the failure of Tinubu and his fellow ECOWAS leaders. The citizens of their countries are fleeing to the UK in their thousands to seek greener pastures. And the UK government is now tired. So in order to reduce the number of immigrants, they decided to do this. Look at how the papers reported it. UK increases visa fees for Nigerians, other international students, tourists by 35%. The United Kingdom has increased visa fees for Nigerians and other international students, tourists, and workers, a move that will add to the financial burden of applicants seeking entry into the country. According to the UK Home Office, the fee for a student visa has been raised from £363 to £490, reflecting a 35% increase. The 6-month visit visa has also been adjusted, now costing £115 instead of £100. Other visa categories, including work and family visas, have also been revised. The UK government defended the decision, stating that the increase was necessary to sustain its immigration system and fund public sector wages. It is right and fair to increase visa application fees to ensure that the cost of running the immigration system are met by those who benefit from it, the Home Office said. The fee hike has sparked concerns among students and travel consultants. Adeola Ogunsanya, a Nigerian travel consultant, described the increase as a major challenge for aspiring students. Many Nigerian students already struggle with tuition and living expenses in the UK. Adding an extra financial burden through higher visa fees will make it even harder for them, she said. According to Daily Trust, Tunde Ajayi, a prospective UK student, also shared his worries about the financial strain. I have been saving up for my master's degree, but with this extra cost, I might have to reconsider my plans, he said. The UK remains a preferred destination for Nigerian and other international students and tourists, with thousands applying for visas each year. And Idris Dada here says, didn't Nigeria government increase almost everything in the country? Yes, they did increase everything. So you have taught the UK how to treat your citizens. And it is such a shame. Nigeria has the highest visa application to the United Kingdom worldwide because Nigerians are the ones seeking to leave their country the most. There is no country in this world where people are fleeing, where the citizens are fleeing like in Nigeria. And if you check the other countries that follow, they are still African countries. So this is just a shame. And they are ECOWAS countries. That is the narrative that the likes of President Traore of Burkina Faso and Tiani of Niger Republic, who exited the ECOWAS, are trying to change. You realize that those military men now, they have been able to change the course of their countries. Their citizens are no longer fleeing their countries the way they used to, because the major reason why people are fleeing the countries is because of the hopelessness. You look around in a place like Nigeria, there is no hope. Unemployment is on the increase daily. Insecurity is on a daily increase. And instead of government to say, look, we know that these things are increasing, but we are working to tackle them, they are lying that things are reducing. They are lying that things are getting better. So you as a citizen, when you look around and you see that, man, things are not getting better and the people who are supposed to fix it are lying, it's better I just leave. And now the UK is saying, look, you cannot come and be destroying our own country, having failed as a people. So they will keep increasing the visa fees until it will get to a point where you have to be extremely rich to be able to exit Nigeria. Maybe then Nigerians will now know that they have no other place to run to than to come together, unite, and fix their own country. Because if Nigerians unite, they can easily take this country back. And when we take it back, I keep saying it, give this country 365 days, you will begin to feel and, see the dividends of democracy as a common man. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go away.